It's the pilot of Pluribus, and Ray Seahorn is back. This time through Carol Sturka. Let's dive in. So we first meet Carol reading a chapter for her book tour in a Barnes & Nobles. The camera panning behind her, stretching out the moments of her face reveal. Curiously, towards the end of the chapter that she's reading, she delivers these ominous words.
Once again, she was alone.
Carol doesn't know how true these words will be a month or so from now. And then we get a montage of Carol meeting her fans, and the screen is engulfed with purple. Purple markers, purple pillows, purple sand, purple shirts. It's a purple bonanza. In these scenes, Carol is mostly all smiles and selfies, but in private, she expresses her true thoughts.
Depends. You a big fan of mindless crap?
Wow, it's a ship that sails on sand?
The world needed that.
The prominence of purple in these scenes give me the idea that purple is being used as the color that signals discontent. And the show's most prominent color is yellow. We have yellow smileys, yellow symbols of happiness. These can be found all over the show's promotional material. And in a color wheel, purple is the color directly opposite of yellow. So purple is seemingly the color of discontent. The prominence of purple in Carol's Romantasy series reflects her dissatisfaction with her works. Her works are not authentic to her. She doesn't want to let the world know her authentic self. She comes up with excuses to delay the release of her more authentic novel.
Bitter chrysalis.
The title of her more serious novel brings to mind the idea of transformation, that Carol will change out of her current bitter disposition. Then later on, Helen and Carol go outside to smoke, and Carol notices something in the sky.
Look at that. All of them kind of parallel like that.
The world is being sprayed with the happiness virus. Let's rewind. Astronomers discover a repeating 4-pattern frequency from space, and after some discussion, they figure out that it spells some kind of RNA sequencing. And from this, scientists begin their research. And on one fateful night, 2 scientists prepare to euthanize a wall of rats. But one of the rats seemed to be dead. Out of the many rats, one is seemingly dead. Out of many, one. E pluribus unum, one of the mottos of the United States.
Oh, God bless America.
Then one of the scientists get bit and the virus begins to spread. And one of the ways that the virus spreads is through kisses, non-consensual kisses. And the idea of consent is better explored in the second episode, Pirate Lady, when Carol argues that no one on the planet agreed to be part of the joining. And so the virus spreads here. Here we have a scene where the infected work in a very symmetrical assembly line, like a perfect machine. Arms reaching out in parallel lines to infect the rest of the world. And throughout the episode, we see all these parallel lines everywhere. It's on their roads, it's on their clothes, it's in their homes. These parallel lines are omnipresent. They're everywhere. So I think the show is using parallel lines as a sort of avatar for the hive mind. Parallel lines are individually distinct lines, but they all have the same slope. They exhibit the same characteristics. There's uniformity in them. Much like how the hive mind works. They may have different bodies, but they are all joined together by one unified consciousness. So, backing up a bit here, before the rest of the world is infected, Helen and Carol poke fun at the comments of the Waikara fans are making online. One of them asks if there's a specific man who inspired Raban, the romantic interest in her novels. And Helen, proud and haughty Helen, suggests that Carol tell her fans the truth.
You want to tell the truth?
Carol is clearly uncomfortable with this suggestion, and she plays it off. She plays off her discomfort. She makes a George Clooney joke.
Put George Clooney. It's safer.
Once again, Carol rejects the idea of letting herself, her authentic self, be known to the rest of the world. And immediately after she shuts down this idea, a car crashes behind her. Helen starts seizing, as does the rest of the world. The joining has begun. It's almost like the universe instantly punished Carol for her inauthenticity, for reveling in her unhappiness. Carol tries to turn on her car to get Helen to a hospital, but alas, good old alcoholism gets in the way of that. So Carol hijacks the other guy's car, the unicorn car. Carol's the one, y'all, the rare exception, the one who eludes the hive mind's control. And when Carol gets to the hospital, we get this cheeky shot of the screen in the background coaxing Carol to join. Join us, Carol. Join the collective. Back outside the hospital, unfortunately for Carol, Helen doesn't make it. She passes away, leaving Carol behind.
Once again, she was alone.
I can only assume that Carol is feeling this strange mixture of sadness and grief over Helen's passing, confusion over what the hell is going on, and anger. Anger over the fact that everyone else gets to get up scot-free from their seizures, but Helen doesn't. It isn't fair. When the rest of the world gets up, we get this scene where the screen is just dominated by parallel lines. We have parallel lines on the hospital pillars, parallel lines on the railings on the ground, parallel lines on the pedestrian crossing. Just dominating the screen here, signaling that the joining has been completed. And after Helen's passing, we get a collection of scenes where the hive mind expresses similar sentiments.
We just want to help, Carol.
We really do want to help.
If we can help you in any way, please let us know.
These words, these offers of help and assistance, these are words that you tell someone who is grieving. Carol just lost Helen, and all of a sudden, the world extends their arms for support, and Carol pushes them away. So here we have Carol, this character who puts on a facade to her fans, who adamantly refuses to let the world in, who refuses to allow people to get to know her true self. And now in one fell swoop, the entire world is one consciousness, extending their arms out to Carol, coaxing her to join them, to let herself be known to the rest of the world in one unified consciousness. And what does Carol do? She pushes the world out. She barricades herself. She closes the blinds on her windows, puts pillows to block the view of the outside world. No one is allowed to look in. Well, except for one person. Helen, in this case her corpse. Helen is the only one allowed in Carol's inner life. Then Carol talks to this guy on the TV who looks very Reagan-esque. It's almost like he's gonna give an evil empire speech, but he does the exact opposite. He declares an empire of contentness. I would be remiss not to talk about the AI allegory buzz surrounding this show. I won't dive too much about this specific aspect, because I think the show is going to be so much more than just an AI allegory, but the TV scene really jumped out at me in that regard. So we have Carol talking to a screen, and this screen has a collection of everyone's knowledge. The screen also bombards her with positivity and affirmations. Sound familiar? Anyways, so the hour-long episode ends on a countdown, which is now counting up at the 1 hour mark. It's a nice little flourish. Alright, that'll do it for me. Cheers to Diet Pepsi, and see you all on the next episode. Bye-bye.